to this Thursday morning right around 10:35. Look at Stinger. I mean, Dan, right here in front of me. Dan Herkert, the commission chair for the Alton Amphitheater Commission. How are we doing today, sir?
Tired after the parade.
I'm telling you what. It was cool, though. All the families out there and just braving the cold. And I don't know if you saw Broadway. The bonfire pits and the tailgating was going on. That's cool, man.
It was a great turnout for a cold night. I was lucky. I was in a costume, and it was quite toasty within that costume, so I had the best of both worlds.
Well, and I honestly think that the RiverBend communities had the best of both worlds this year with the amphitheater. There was a variety of, different events and that's what I think you guys do better than everything is the variety. And kicking it off with Vanilla Ice and then those anchored events. How'd the season go?
Overall, it was a great season. I mean, I'm never satisfied. I always want to do more, but that, like I always say, it comes down to money. The events that we had were all great this year, but you always want to do more, and that just comes down to sponsor dollars, and we're working like our tails off again on that already, getting ready for next year.
Well, and take me through that process, because you guys don't stop meeting, do you? It keeps going, right?
We meet once a month, third Monday of the month at 4:30 at City Hall. Open to the public, and we're always interested in hearing from the residents of Alton and the surrounding area for ideas. But as soon as the season was over, Sam Foxman from Evntiv and I met with the mayor. Had a great meeting with him just to go over the season from that 15,000 feet area, and then talk to him about his help with sponsors, and he's always willing to help, and it was a great meeting, and we're starting to look forward. We're starting to put budgets together for next year, so overall we're feeling pretty good.
Well, and with that, can we expect some of the anchor events to come back and return?
I would certainly expect the anchor events to always be there. It would shock me, because they're very popular. I mean, from fireworks on the Mississippi to the food truck festival to the expo and the wine and jazz festival. There'll be a little bit of change in September this year because it's a leap year, and that always kind of moves things around a little bit. But wine and jazz may be a little bit different weekend, but overall everything should be pretty well the same as past years.
Absolutely, and thank you for reminding me we have an extra day of February this year.
Yes, we do.
Well, and right off the bat, Vanilla Ice was a great show. I'm looking back on it, I didn't see a frowning face, or everybody was smiles and dancing all night long.
I got great reviews. I of course was not there that night. I regret it's the first time I have not been at one of our major shows. It was the last home game of River Dragons season, and doing my double duty, I had to score that game, but I did make it back at the very end of that show, and the reviews, everybody had a great time. I went to work the following Monday. People at work were raving about it, that they knew people that were there or had been there themselves. I mean, you always want to sell more tickets, but it did well. And the response to it was wonderful. I mean, it was a great show. Without
a doubt. And then, Dan, I wanted to ask you this. With your work with Evntiv, how important is it to have such a great backbone with them?
Well, their expertise in how to put on any kind of event, whether it's a small event to a large-scale concert, is invaluable to us. And Sam Foxman's years of experience and the connections he has among the agents that you talk to, because we have to work with the agents to get people that are routing, because we're not going to get them on their big tours. They're going to be at the Live Nations, or they're going to be overly expensive. So we have to work through routing, and Sam's years of experience come to bear on that.
And how long of a term do you have with Evntiv? Does that keep...
the last contract we did, I believe, was 3 years. We went out, I believe it was last year, out for bid. We had a couple of bids. We ultimately ended up with the Evntiv again, and the working relationship with them has been great. Just from the production side, all that they take off of our plate, and the expertise they bring when it comes, because there's so many technical details, particularly with a big concert where they have to work with the acts and the management to get the technical details down. And they also have the relationships with the sound companies, the lighting companies, things like that they can help kind of shave costs off for us.
A great liaison for sure.
Absolutely.
And on top of that too, how do the board members feel, the commission members feel this year? Because it seems like everyone really was moving and working together well.
I can't speak enough about all the members of the commission and how hard they work. I mean, you see my face more because nobody else is crazy enough to sit here and do this. But everybody worked their tails off this year. Everybody was happy with what we did. Like I said, everybody has the same mindset as I do. We want to do more. It's just a matter of having the funds to do it.
Absolutely. With that being, on top of that too, with the commissioners, how often do you go out and and reappoint? Is it a lifetime appointment?
No,
Do they go
no.
year by year? How does that go?
If I remember correctly, it's a 3-year term, and they're staggered, so everybody's not up at the same time.
Well, that's actually a pretty good way to do it, so you don't have a mass.
And it's been that way since the commission was first started, back under either at the very end of Mayor Sandage's term or the very beginning of Mayor Hake's term, when it was established by ordinance. They staggered them out so that there would always be rotating people, and you wouldn't lose institutional knowledge when somebody steps away and somebody new comes in.
And, that's what I think. How long have you been on the commission now? This is year 10, isn't it?
Well, I've been on the commission itself since 2017, but I started working with the amphitheater when I worked in the mayor's office back in 2013. So 10 years I've been involved with the amphitheater, and this is my 6th season as an actual commissioner.
Does it ever surprise you going down the list of, a Leonard Skinner, and Uncle Cracker, you name it? I mean, all the acts that have walked through the Riverbend region have been amazing.
It's starting to get hard to remember because they all run together. If I sat here, I could probably tell you every act that we've had, but I'd probably miss a year somewhere and have somebody plugged into the wrong year. But we've had everything, like you said, from Leonard Skinner to Nelly to Travis Tritt, Charlie Daniels, Steve Miller. I mean, we've run the gamut.
Beach Boys, throw them in there. Just some great shows. And what I think's always cool, too, is one of my favorite events was whenever we did the Jazz and Wine, and being able to snag old Hartman over from St. Louis and bring him over and watch Don Weber and that amazing trio and having the Jazz Confluence. It's events like that, man, that really go above and beyond.
I'm particularly proud of the Wine and Jazz Festival because I'm a jazz enthusiast, I guess would be the word. But that event, it took us a few years, like any event. I mean, the first year we did the Food Truck Festival, it was disorganized chaos because we had so many people show up. And we fixed the problems as you come along. But Wine and Jazz, we finally hit on something the last few years with the seating on the stage. We have kind of a jazz club setting. Again, the stage pretty much sold out this year. We had added tables, figured out a way to cram more people in. But then even this year we had, I believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 people walked up day of. The weather was gorgeous that day. But those $5 or $10 general admission tickets, we had people out on the lawn on the stage. We sold out of wine again this year. The charcuterie trays from Brown Bag Bistro went again. It couldn't be a better event, and it just continues to grow. And I'm really proud of that as a smaller event that we continue to grow, and it really is turning into a marquee event. It
really is, and it's really becoming an Alton blueprint. I mean, this is your guys' template because not a lot of other festivals look like that with that intimate space really on a larger amphitheater. That's tough to pull off.
We tried that in the first few years. We had the regular seating at the amphitheater. We figured out that didn't work as well, and the people that really come out for jazz really like that more intimate setting.
Yeah. And, the Food Truck Festival, I don't think, I was looking around. I was out there for a couple hours that day. Beautiful weather.
Well, that's when we got lucky on the weather.
Oh, that's right.
It rained all the night before, the day of, and we opened at 4 and the rain stopped at 4 o'clock. We got that 4-hour window in there, and it was unfortunate because that's the same night as the Marina's anniversary party. They ultimately had to cancel theirs because of the weather, but somebody was looking out for us. And granted, it did hurt attendance a little bit, but we still estimate at least 3,000 or 4,000 people came through this year.
It's just incredible. And every time I looked around, you couldn't find a food truck that was empty.
No, and it wasn't miserably hot because that weather had come through. It was overcast that day. And like I said, the weather did scare a few people off, but we were all over social media to make sure people know we were going to have that event one way or the other.
Well, and also, too, what was really cool is to see the variety of trucks because there were some returning, fans that I knew and trucks that I knew and some that were there from, a couple of different events. But to see different walks of life, different backgrounds, and different types of food, that's what made it fun. It was just a melting pot of taste.
Absolutely. I mean, we have everything from Greek to Mexican to Brazilian, pizza, burgers, barbecue, sweets for people. I mean, you can't beat it for the variety.
I got a question to ask. Do we get the fast passes next year?
Well, we'll see.
Stay tuned. I'm working on it. But with that being said, Alton Expo was really fun. To me, it was such a great event, and it was really nice because the weather held off really well. It was beautiful.
The weather this year was the best we've had. I mean, last year we ran into the storm on the Saturday night that was absolutely killed us.
Brutal.
And most years it's been horribly hot, even in September. This year was perfect across the board. And I mean, we did have a little bit of an issue early the first couple nights of the expo because we had that unfortunate event out at the high school, and that did kind of keep people away. But by Saturday and Sunday, we made up for it, and we actually came out on the carnival side about where we were from the previous year. So everybody ended up being very happy with it.
Really? I was wondering how those first 2 days did affect you.
We were a little nervous after the first 2 days, but that Saturday night, Saturday all day, but Saturday night in particular, and even Sunday this year, made up for what we had kind of lost because people were just, when that happened, and it was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But when it happened, it did affect us, and it kind of, but we had added security. The police department was great to work with. We had no incidents down there. So it turned out to be as successful as ever.
And if it's okay with you, the other events that Bud Summers tribute concert just happened. I know the Earth Tones Festival's down there. What's it like for your guys' perspective on those events? Because you're not, directly in the thick of it, but you're still involved.
Well, particularly, it's just great to have more events. It's great to have the Earth Tones Festival back down there. By all accounts, it's been successful the last 2 years they've been down there. They've been easy to work with. We're thrilled that they're down there. And then the Bud Summers event with the Upper Alton Association, we do the beverages for that to help them out so they don't have to worry about the cost of all that. And then we should do a profit sharing. But that's another event that's this year, the weather was perfect again. Somehow, though, they get perfect weather in October for their event. And it was a nice crowd. We had a wonderful afternoon. And hopefully, I mean, they're talking about continuing it next year, and we look forward to that.
That's incredible. I hope they do, because it was a really great laid-back atmosphere. I know so many people that went and just enjoyed some great music.
Oh, yeah.
On top of that, how do you guys prepare in the off-season? What do these meetings kind of look like? Because for us, we think this is the slow part of the year, but this is probably when you're working harder than, ever.
This is the busiest part of the year for me. To me, being down there as busy as you are running during events, that's enjoyable.
Yeah.
This time of year, when you're trying to put all the pieces together for the next year, to me is the busiest part, particularly when you're trying to project out your budget. You're reaching out to sponsors, which they'll be hearing from us. We'll be beating down the doors again. And I always say, look at our website, look at any of the signs, support our sponsors, because without them, we wouldn't be doing any of this.
And it was really cool to have Funky Cards and Collectibles as your guys' ticket outlet this year. Really cool to have a local business providing that opportunity, too.
Absolutely. Anytime we can partner up with local businesses and try to drive traffic, it's mutually beneficial for both. And like I always say, the more events we can have, the better, and even the particularly bigger events, because you bring those people into town, and they either sometimes stay at hotels, but they definitely hit our restaurants and bars and our shops, and that generates tax revenue for the city.
Right.
And it helps the businesses because they're generating revenue.
When it adds on to the footprint that you guys have been developing. I mean, without the amphitheater, it would be pretty hard to bring some of these acts in.
There's no way you would do a Leonard Skinner in Alton without that amphitheater.
And as you guys are creeping up towards the new year, what's on the agenda, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, right now, it's just finishing up the loose ends from this season, paying the final bills, which I think, knock on wood, all the bills from this season have been paid. We'll have another meeting coming up here in a couple of weeks, and then we've already started talking to Evntiv, having them reach out to agents to see who might be available through routing, and then the anchor event is just planning purposes on those, and a lot of those have kind of become old hat to us, so it's more just putting the pieces together.
Absolutely, and that's what I think's exciting, man. I mean, it's really cool. Because with you as the amphitheater commissioner or commission chair, and then the commissioners behind you, I mean, you guys work hard. You're working 9-to-5s and career jobs, and then adding this on.
I wish I had a 9-to-5 job.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, you have a career job, but it's still the same sentiment. I mean, you guys are working and then volunteering your time to put this on. It speaks volumes.
Well, and to that end, I know it's probably not out there yet, but last week we lost one of our members, one of the original members. Michelle Brooks finally decided to step down. She was one of the very first members ever appointed to the commission, and well over 10 years in time, and we're all sad to lose her. It's a huge loss to us on the commission. It's a huge loss to the city, all the work that she's put in. I can't, just from my perspective as the chair, she's been my right hand and taking care of things for me. So it's going to be a big loss, and whoever ends up in that spot's going to have big shoes to fill.
Oh, without a doubt. Michelle is truly one of the hardest workers I've ever come across. And every time you're down there, no matter how much, she's working and the sweat's there, she's still going to take care of anybody that comes up and asks for a question.
And I'm sure she'll be watching, and don't think I won't be trying to talk her into coming down and volunteering for a few events in the future.
Just making sure that was working for you, Michelle. With that being said, too, as the seasons keeps going on, how long are you guys looking to have that vacancy open? Is that going to be?
That'll be entirely up to the mayor.
Okay, I didn't know.
Because the mayor makes the appointment, and then the council offers its approval. So I assume he'll move quickly on that. I haven't had a discussion with him because all this has happened very quickly. But I'm sure, we just got another new member that came on recently that the mayor appointed that I think is going to work out great. He brings some things to we always want somebody that's going to bring something to the table that can help. Particularly a background in events or something like that. So I think all systems go at this point. It's just a matter of going out and really working on getting sponsors back in the door. We're talking with some of the radio stations in St. Louis. I hope that bears fruit, that some kind of partnership can be worked out. Nothing to report yet, just some preliminary talks, but some people that are associated with those are from the River Bend and really care about our amphitheater. So I'm hoping we can develop a relationship there that'll be mutually beneficial.
You can only see, right? Time will tell. But with that being said, I wanted to mention the Public Works and Park and Recs Department.
Absolutely.
Because they do a lot to really make sure that everything's looking as good as it should. And take me through that.
Particularly Lindsay Younger and Tom Benz. Tom, going back from day one that I've been involved with the amphitheater, we wouldn't get anything done without him. He
Amen.
He is Mr. Fix-It. He can fix anything. And Lindsay does so much work to help us and support us on the back end of things. And then, like you said, the Public Works Department, well, Mike Haynes in the Parks Department also. And then the Police Department with all they do to help us from a security standpoint, and the Fire Department with EMS services when we've needed them. So the entire city comes together. The folks at City Hall that help us out, the comptroller's office, the treasurer's office, the mayor's office. Everybody has a hand in this.
And, it adds to that bigger picture of working together, and that's what really makes things work, because it doesn't just take one department. It takes multiple hands to really put all this stuff on.
And it's government, so nothing moves quickly. And it is nice to see everybody that works so well together, because a lot of times in government, anybody that's dealt with government knows it doesn't move fast.
And on top of that, too, we were talking about the loss of Michelle as one of the commissioners, and she has done just fantastic. If you don't mind me asking, how much longer on your term do you have?
I'm not 100% sure, but my term either ends at the end of this year or early into next year. I don't remember exactly when my last reappointment was, so we'll see. That'll be up to the mayor if he wants me to stick around.
100%. Is there anything I'm forgetting about as we're talking about the recap of this season? Because it was full of great memories, great times, and really great growth.
A lot of it has become a blur at this point, especially now that we're getting into the fall, and there is a wind down period, and we're coming into the holidays, so things will slow down from a public standpoint, but none of us will stop working.
Absolutely. And you guys can always stay up to date with the amphitheater on their Facebook page, your website. And if you ever need any questions, I know a guy that can connect you. Dan Herkert, you guys really do some great stuff, and thank you so much for your time.
Well, we appreciate you putting all of our stuff out there and everything that RiverBender has done for us this year. It's a great partnership, and we look forward to continuing that going forward.
100%. We are too, and we really do mean that. We'll take a quick one, and we will wrap up. We're already at Thursday, man.
I know.
We'll wrap up the Thursday morning that was right after this quick one in downtown Alton.